and welcome back, very foolish mortals, to the most foolish channel on the internet. So today I'm going to be doing a makeup look for you, which is where my hair's tied up and I'm just sat chilling here. I have makeup on already, but whatever, we'll go over the top of that. I don't care, it's going to be more of a Halloween makeup look that I'm going to be doing. So, you know the Cheshire Cat? Of course you know the Cheshire Cat. I'm basically going to do a makeup look inspired by him, but like more Halloweeny, like clowny. I have no idea really, I'm just going to kind of go for it, see what happens. It might look like trash. It probably will look like trash.
I'm trash.
But I'll just say as well, if you want to do all of the YouTubey stuff that's up there, I would appreciate that. So yeah, I'll just get into it, I suppose. I don't actually really know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna kind of go for it and hope. So yeah, my mirror's like here this time, so you don't get my face like coming up to you that you did in my last makeup video. Yeah, but also it might actually look worse potentially. I've got my makeup here, so I like Alice in Wonderland. I feel like either like a Neverland person or a Wonderland person, but I'm kind of both. I like both. I think it depends on my mood. Did you know that Alice from Alice in Wonderland is actually based a real person? It was Carol's boss's daughter. Yeah, Alice is based on a real person. She had sisters as well, but it was Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and obviously Alice Through the Looking Glass. But it could have been called other things as well. So he did actually consider, well, he wasn't actually going to write it down initially, so he was actually just telling them the stories, and then they kept pestering him to write it down, so then he did. So he might not have even had Alice in Wonderland if he hadn't written that down. So also the original one that he did write down didn't actually include a lot of the scenes and characters that we actually really like the Mad Hatter and the Cheshire Cat as well. It didn't actually have that as in the originals, which is quite odd. But yeah, obviously put that in later, which I'm really happy about. But obviously the Disney movie is like a mix of Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, it was almost called other things as well, like Alice's Adventures in Elfland, Alice's Adventure in Fairyland, and Alice's Hour with Goblins or something like that. It was lots of different things. Could you imagine if he knew how popular that would have gotten? He genuinely probably would have written down a lot earlier, probably. It's mad to think that old Chesh and Mad Hatter, who are probably two of the most famous characters in literature ever, they weren't even in the original ones, which is freaking crazy if you ask me. Not that you asked me, but still. Should do little stripes. Maybe this was a bad idea. I've never really done these sorts of makeup looks before, except for like with face paint. I've never actually done it with... No, I've never done it on myself. I never really do makeup on myself like this. It could look cool. We will see. It looks a bit naff, but Also, do you know the Disney Alice in Wonderland? It was almost live action. I mean, they did do one that was like live action before like anything really came out that was Disney that we know. So it's like an animated live action mix, which is quite cool. I think you can still find it on YouTube. That's how I watched it anyway, like years ago. But like back in the day, they like would act out. I mean, they still do it now. They like act out what it is they want to animate, so that you get like an idea. And also, Alice is also Wendy Darling from Peter Pan. So, and, you know, there's like so many songs that plan to be used in that film. It was genuinely going to be like a full-on musical. There was going to be like 30 songs they were going to be planning on using in that film, but obviously they didn't. But Cheshire Cat does sing a song. He goes towards the really, actually from the poem The Jabberwocky, which is in the book. And fun fact, when I used to do auditions, not that I did many of them, but that was my like monologue and I used to practice it by speaking it to my hamster. My hamster liked it. It would sit there going. I kind of remember. I'll see if I can remember it. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toes did guile and gimble in the wave. Oh, mimsy were the borogoves, and the moan rafts outgrabe. Beware the jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jubjub bird and shun, the furious bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, so long that's a foamy sort or something like that. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And in and fish thought he stood, the jabberwock, with eyes aflame, came whiffling through the tawdry wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through, the vorpal blade went snipper-snap, he left it dead, and on its head he came galumphing back. And hast thou slain the jabberwock? Oh, come to my arms, my beamish boy, oh, perhaps you stay, calloo, calais, he chortled with his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toes did guile and gimble in the wave. Or mimsy were the borogoves, and the gnome rafts outgrabe. I kind of remember it. I mean, it's probably slightly wrong, but it's done that in years. It's such a cool little poem. It's basically nonsense, but it tells a story as well. If you watch the live action Tim Burton one, they kind of go into that a little bit more. But the Jabberwock, that's so cool. The Told You Would, it is actually referenced.
Well, if it hadn't been for him, I told you would. Curious. I don't remember this.
Could you imagine if cats actually were like... I mean, I know that's the sort of joke of it, because cats, they don't do that. So apparently with like the phrase grinning like a Cheshire Cat in English history, from like the Cheshire like county in England, and it has like numerous dairy farms, so that's why the cats grin, is because there's like an abundance of milk and cream, so they're happy. So you've got really happy cats. I think Tweedledee and Tweedledum, they were more in the Alice with the Looking Glass one, rather than the Alice in Wonderland one. I recommend reading the books if you haven't. I haven't read them in years. I had Alice with the Looking Glass on like those like audio cassette tape things, you know what I mean? Like back in the day when those were like a thing. And I used to read along with that. I used to do that with Fantastic Mr. Fox and the Famous Five and Just William as well. They were all so cool back in the day. Apparently as well, I read this other thing, right? So in the English county of Cheshire, it said that cheeses were sometimes moulded to shape a grinning cat. Also, there's a painter in Cheshire that would paint grinning lions on sideboards all around Cheshire as well. Have I ever been to Cheshire? I don't even know if I have. Probably have been at some point. I went to this like Alice in Wonderland walkthrough once, and that was really cool. And Alice had brown hair, which like weirded me out a lot. And who's your favourite Alice in Wonderland character? Because I don't actually know mine, genuinely, because I feel like Cheshire Cat is probably the way forward, but then I also do freaking love Alice herself, Queen of Hearts and the Mad Hatter. They're just all such cool characters. What I do kind of wish they didn't leave out of the animated Alice in Wonderland one though is the dodo, for one, because allegedly that's based off of Lewis Carroll, but also, you know, the bit where she has like this child but it's actually a pig and it like turns into a pig and runs away. It's a strange moment. I don't understand Alice in Wonderland anyway, but like I don't think anyone can. But that was always like an odd moment, but it's also quite a cool moment. But it's also, you see it on the pictures, don't you, where she's like holding the baby pig thing. Oh, I'm really scared to like draw like my details. You know, there's this artist called David Hall, right? He did loads and loads of pictures for Alice in Wonderland, like during different voice recordings that like meetings Walt Disney would have, for Alice in Wonderland. There's loads of them, and you can like find them on the internet. His name is David Hall. It's really quite interesting because you could have seen like the Alice in Wonderland that we didn't have, but it was quite cool. I say cool a lot, don't I? I don't recommend going on the internet and finding where the animators act out parts of the scenes. You can find it on YouTube. It's quite interesting with Alice in Wonderland because they're such outrageous scenes that they perform. He doesn't actually, Cheshire Cat doesn't really speak much, and he's always disappearing, which I guess is quite standard for most cats really, because cats don't really speak. And they often disappear. Like they're there one minute and then they're just gone. They're basically just like invisible. Cats are weird. I like cats though. I think I'm more of a cat person than a dog person, but I still love dogs. Also in the story, the Queen of Hearts told Alice that all cats grin. Do you remember when the live action Alice in Wonderland Tim Burton one came out? Everyone was like so obsessed with it, and there was so much merch around about like Cheshire Cat, Alice in Wonderland, and it's all like the Tim Burton-y stuff. Personally, I prefer the animated version, the Disney animated version of Alice in Wonderland, but let me know which one you prefer. I do love Tim Burton, I do like that version as well, though I'm not a fan of Alice with the Looking Glass as much. I like Tim Burton films very much, but I do prefer some of the older ones that he's done. Really hard. If I had like face paint, I think this would be easier. I've got such chubby cheeks, it's hard to draw on them. This is reminding me very much of like Cats, the musical. Dun, 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 dun. I've legit not seen a remake of Cats. I don't really want to. Did you watch that? Like, it actually freaked me out seeing the advert. I keep saying I'm going to watch it, then I just don't, because then it's going to be bad. Then I feel like it's going to be so bad that I'll kind of enjoy it. I need to add like white somehow, I don't know how. Ooh, I know. I might make this wider. There we go, we're getting there. There we go. Looking a lot more frightful. My sharpener. I feel like a lot of Disney characters could look really terrifying if you wanted to try and make them terrifying. Even like ones that you wouldn't feel are terrifying. If you enjoyed this, I could do a series. I know it won't be Halloween-y, but more makeup stuff, I mean. Do I do those little like cat dots? I might do these cat dots. They're always like adorable. I'm actually liking this look. I might start wearing this kind of look to work. You think my employees would think? Ugh. I love doing clowny sort of stuff. Okay, so I think that's done. So what I'll do, I'll cut here to show you my final look. overall outfit for Cheshire Cat and some crazy hair to try and do this like Cheshire Cat type clown-esque type thing. Let me know what you think of the overall look. Do you think this would be good for Halloween? Would you try this look out yourself? It's actually slightly easier than I thought it would be, and to be fair, I quite like it. So I added 2 lots of lashes as well. There we are, that's the entire look. Do you love it? I kind of love it, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's quite cool, like clowning, Halloween, Cheshire Cat-esque. But thank you so much for watching. Don't remember to do all of the YouTubey stuff. And have a magical day. Bye!